Hello, North America, and welcome to another segment of the VIP Business Stock Show. I'm Don Emilio Zeno with my co-host Joanne Serponi. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Don. Good day, Don.
Good day to all.
Good
Yeah,
day to all.
and of course we left off on the last segment where we were talking about risk management and so on and so forth. And today we're going to be talking about portfolio management. Now, let me set the stage, and then you can come in
if I can.
because of your great trustee credibility. It will add more pizzazz to our cause. By the way, folks, many years ago, and I'm talking about 30 years ago, I used to be a portfolio management and estate planner working for a large outfit up here in Canada, financial pillar, financial institution. And the first thing that we've been taught is in portfolio management is how to balance your portfolio. Now let me get more into details, okay? In other words, the old saying, never put all your eggs in the same basket, still holds true today. That will never change. Not 50 years ago, not today, and not in 1,000 years from now, so my vision says. Why? Because it's okay to buy stocks, it's okay to buy real estate, it's okay, but you need a balanced portfolio. You also need cash in the bank. Even though they're paying 1%, you need that cash flow in case the other ones don't yield the capital gains that you're dreaming of all of a sudden. So what happens if you don't have that cash flow to sustain the everyday expenses? Guess what? It won't be long, but I give it a year and you'll be sitting in front of Joanne. I need to go bankrupt. And of course, nobody wants people to do that. No. So portfolio management, very important. And also, when you reach a certain stage or age, like most people, at 65 plus, don't do the mistakes some of my other friends did, where they risk all of their millions doing something because of greed. Again, portfolio management. Greed, where you say, I've got $1 million. That's a lot of money. Even today, it's a lot of money. If you balance your portfolio, you can yield $50,000 a year, still today, if you know how to do it. Okay, and there's experts out there that would be able, and ask for their credentials. Don't be shy to ask those portfolio managers out there that are trying to sell you their services, as these guys make a lot of money. And be careful how you choose them. As for referrals, for example, don't be shy to ask, can you give me a few referrals that I want to call?
That's a very good idea.
And don't be shy. I want to call and say, Mr. Pony, hi, this is Zeno, and I've got Sam, the portfolio manager, that's trying to take all of my money and manage it for me. How's he doing? How you doing? Has he been good to you? Is he full of it? Is he fraudulent? Because a lot of these guys have been in the news in the last 10 years, and guess what? No matter what the nationality, what the religion, you got some bad apples out there that are ruining it for a lot of the good people. Again, portfolio management, very important. And if you can do it on your own, do it on your own, because you'll know what to do in most cases. Do you follow what I'm saying?
No, I follow.
Go ahead, John. Take it from there.
I was just in doing it on your own. I find you gave a couple of examples in your beginning there, Don, that were excellent. So if you've got the extra, the excess revenue over and above what you need for your household living, it's interesting that you put a little bit in RSPs, a little bit maybe in real estate, maybe a little bit in some stocks, and you kind of turn around and manage it a little bit like that. And then I was trying to understand, while I was listening to you a little bit earlier there, Don, trying to understand, what do you mean by people at 65 that turn around and greed? What is it that they exactly do that some of your friends done?
I'll give you an example. let's say I'm saying 65 because, I mean, let's face it, guys. A lot of people, today's 60 is the young 40. Sure, we all like to know that, but
60
I don't
young
I don't
40,
give
like that.
I don't give a rat's ass. At 65, you're not 35 anymore. Okay, so if you haven't used your brains by then, you'll never be able to use your brains. So at 65, if you have $1 million, which maybe only 1% of the population have. 1% worldwide that have $1 million liquid. I don't mean in assets, liquid. Hold on to that cash because that cash is king more so than ever. And haven't we seen it in the last 4 or 5 years? Fair enough. So that means what? If somebody comes to you at 65, hey, I got a great idea on how you can invest, $500,000 in VIP, internet, radio, or TV, as much as I'd like to get that money. Well, guess what? The poor guy's 65 years old. There's more secure ways of yielding a revenue of some kind. It's called, like, for example, Canadian bank stocks, or even American, but for the most part, Canadian bank stocks, because Canadian bank stocks are one of the most secure securities, for lack of better words. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Now I understand why
So
you
in
mean
other
with the
words,
65. And
you're gonna make
management.
gonna make your average of let's say 5 to 8 points over the long run. As compared to leaving your money in the bank. But if you have $1 million, portfolio management. In other words, you would take, for example, $300,000 and invest it into a real estate property that you control, not someone else. Okay, that you control, where you sign in the dotted line because that property is worth $600,000, and you figured I'm buying it for $300,000. When the market picks up, you will have doubled your money in 5 years.
Yes,
okay, that's a smart move. The other $300,000 out of the million, you invested in blue chip stocks. There are still blue chip stocks. Secure companies that have been around for forever, and chances are they'll continue being around forever. Okay, and then 300,000, you leave it in the bank. GICs, cash flow, that's called portfolio management. And that's what you need to do, especially when you reach 65. And I'm saying 65 because most people don't have that kind of liquidity unless they've worked, 30 years of their lives. And have accumulated that in RSPs and what have you.
Well, Don, for our listeners, I think you've given them a perfect, well-balanced portfolio and just using that example. And also for our listeners, you can take it in at another level too, because maybe if you haven't reached 65 and you haven't gotten to that million yet, well, the example he's given it, well, you just take it down a notch to whatever savings or whatever level you have.
Right. Agreed.
Which
Agreed.
is excellent, because
But
I think the way you've divided it, I think it's perfect. And we do not do that, because sometimes I've seen it in my career in insolvency. I've seen certain cases where they put it all in real estate. So they turn around and they buy a real estate, they make a few dollars, buy another real estate, and now they have 4 or 5 real estates. They're all fully mortgaged, and then something happens where one of the partners now lost their jobs. Well, all of a sudden the whole
domino effect. As a matter of
happens.
fact, and what she's saying, if I understand correctly, what I understand correctly and what she's saying is that in the 80s, there was a buzzword that everybody liked to use, like a Trump buzzword. Trump, Donald Trump, or Donald Duck, whatever you call him. And the buzzword was leverage. But guess what? Leverage can get you into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying. And she's a bankruptcy trustee or attorney down in the States. She knows what she's talking about. We wouldn't want you to face that music at 60 plus, losing all of your life savings because you didn't pay attention to common sense.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
Or even younger at this level.
I'm saying 60 plus because most people don't accumulate that kind of liquidity until they're well over 60. I mean, let's face it.
Causes distress and stuff like that.
Joanne, unfortunately, shooting our mouths off, we've come to the end of this segment here on portfolio management. Once again, we want to thank you for being patient enough to listen to our VIP Business Talk show, both on radio and now on TV, internet TV. So give it a good listen. Spread the word out to your family and friends, especially your business friends. Until then, we want to wish you all the best in health and in wealth. Have a great one.
Bye-bye.